Okay, here we go. Real Sales Talk back again, part 2 for pre-qualifying. So let's jump right in. Pre-qualifying. Now this is important because pre-qualifying is the X factor. Pre-qualifying is the deciding factor on how efficient you're going to be when you're taking listings. You're going to save hours, you're going to save days, you're going to save weeks, tens of thousands of dollars if you take pre-qualifying seriously. Now look, the reason why agents don't take it seriously, the reason why it's highly underestimated, especially when you're new, it's because you're getting all excited. Somebody says they want to buy, somebody says they want to sell. Now we're talking about listings, right? So somebody says they want to sell and you get all excited because you don't have any business and you race right over there. And without asking any questions in regards to situation or motivation. Look, I hear agents say this all the time. Oh, look, it's just good practice. I want to practice. You want good practice or you want bad practice? Now practice well, which is why role-playing, even the pre-qualifying script, so that you can dig deeper. And on one of these sessions upcoming in the future, make sure you tune in because we're gonna go right through the pre-qualifying script. But right now we're talking about mindset and strategy. So one of the other reasons it's highly underestimated is ego. Oh, I don't need to ask them, go through a script. I already had a good conversation. Really? Just all the questions? You dive deep on situation and motivation? Man, ego, that can be a killer, so be careful that you're not thinking that you know everything. There's great questions for you to dig deeper on so that you can find out how can I help them, what's happening with them, how do I understand them so I can figure out how to serve them. Pre-qualifying helps you become efficient, ultimately to get paid faster. So make sure you're using a pre-qualifying script so that you can get there. Okay, now since most agents don't pre-qualify, doing it will set you apart from the competition. Actions speak louder than words, right? So that when you're having that conversation and you're asking those pre-qualifying questions, that in itself is going to set you apart from the competition. Clearly, you're going to just demonstrate yourself as the true professional. Okay, so actions speak louder than words. When you do that, they'll see that conversation will be the difference so that you can be set apart, so that they can start to hear and understand how you're different. So search for clients that have to or really need tos if they're not at least an 8 in motivation. Otherwise, you're going to have lots more problems down the road. So that was my next point for pre-qualifying is pre-qualifying allows me to find the have tos or the really, really need tos. Do you understand their motivation? Man, I know a lot of agents that just don't. They're just working with their clients and they're not actually really even sure where they rate on the 1 through 10 scale for motivation. Because if they're a 5 or a 6, man, that price reduction later or your ability to negotiate and put a deal together when you do start receiving offers is going to be hindered. It's going to be a lot more difficult. It's going to be a lot more problems down the road if you don't really understand what you're dealing with, who you're dealing with. The pre-qualifying script allows you to do that. Okay, next point I have is building rapport and relationship is important, but remember, true relationships are built on trust. Initially, your main focus will need to be pre-qualifying thoroughly to better connect with communication that better understands them so that you can service them better so that they can trust you faster. Okay, look, the fact that you both have Shih Tzus and like the Mets is cool, but that's not what builds trust. That helps build rapport in the conversation so that the conversation continues. But look, the real rapport I want is understanding them, understanding their situation and motivation so that I can serve them. And then when I build trust faster on a solid foundation, not Shih Tzus, okay, then this relationship can build on a solid foundation and move forward faster. Okay, next final point we're going to talk about today is keep the pre-qualifying script everywhere. It should be up on your script board so that you're reminded to do it. And look, if you're weaving those pre-qualifying questions into conversations sooner, faster, then look, you're speaking fluent real estate. There's an opportunity there for you to find out things faster and then not have to ask less questions later when you go to confirm the appointment and pre-qualify. Because when should you pre-qualify? Look, pre-qualifying on the call, if you have good rapport, if the energy is good and it's moving forward fluently, if the conversation's moving forward fluently, then go ahead and pre-qualify or weave those questions in there so that you can find out more so that when you confirm the appointment later, If you haven't pre-qualified already, you can actually do the actual pre-qualification or catch those questions that you didn't get when you had the conversation earlier because you were asking pre-qualifying questions. You follow me? Okay, so look, keep that pre-qualifying script everywhere so that you're reminded to do it. So you stick to the script to extract as much as possible, because once you are in that mode of asking pre-qualifying questions, are you asking all the questions? Remember, part 1, we talked about pre-qualify 100% of the time, pre-qualify 100% of the script. Because when you're not asking some of those questions, and then you get ambushed later at the appointment because you didn't ask to find out if they were interviewing other agents for the job, or that you didn't ask that they're considering to go for sale by owner, because I didn't want to give them any ideas. Okay, you don't think they realize that they can sell the property on their own? So when you keep that pre-qualifying script in front of you on your script board at your workstation, then it allows you to extract as much information as possible so that I can really understand their mindset, beat objections to the punch when I get to the appointment. Who wants an open book test? Say me. Okay, so the pre-qualifying script allows me to extract that information so that I can find out what I need to do, how I need to be, who I need to be at that appointment. This is so I can get questions sooner in the conversation. So look, pre-qualifying is power. There's at least a couple more videos here on pre-qualifying coming up. So stay tuned, go make that money, Real Sales Talk.